Hello, welcome back to the Boston Review.
This week's incredulous installment will be on the short side, featuring commentary from comrades Scott, Joe, and myself. We cover another Boston Transit horror story, French election results that will hand control of the National Assembly over to a left-wing coalition, Andrew Yang's new gang of goons, desperate for relevancy in the American political landscape, child labor down south, finally under scrutiny, the Fed cranking up the heat on citizens and corporations alike, and of course, some Outback slams for the road.
Please do us a favor, share this content, do yourself a favor, enjoy our Epoch.
So, Joe, what's like your pre-show routine? How do you get amped up for this shit?
I honestly forgot we were doing this until about an hour ago. So
And that's your answer, folks.
Quite a routine.
No. So what I did in the past hour is I just
Masturbate
read
furiously.
up-
So we're going to do a little mini episode because we had a social gathering yesterday and it took up our time. And it was quite fun. So we're going to cover some stories in a short little compact episode for you. Some call them a Minisode. Who gives a shit? Joe,
Some call it.
talk about it.
So I guess we should probably start off with the most obvious one, which is, the tea. Yeah, the tea caught on fire last week.
You put the
That's
shit in
great.
order and then Joe just like picks wherever. Anyways, yeah, the trains, the nightmare of the trains. Yeah, the MBTA is like, woo! So, for context, folks, an Orange Line train between Sullivan and, what was it?
Wellington?
In Wellington. Those two stations sound very similar, and that's why I confused them. Yeah, there was a fucking, the train lit on fire. A bunch of people had to jump off. It was on a bridge. One woman actually jumped off the bridge into it was Charles River, yes? Or was it the...
No, it was the Mystic River. And the fire department happened to be right there, the Mystic River, because they were doing a training exercise. And they tried to help this woman who refused the fire department's help. It's the Somerville Fire Department just happened to be there training. They tried to help her out, and she's like, "No, I don't want their help. I don't want the T's help. Just going home." She's being very extra about it.
Yeah, but Joe, that would be me, too. That would be me. I would also be like, no, I don't want to talk to any of you fuckers. I'm going home.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at swimming. I would probably opt for the river. Cool.
Oh, sounds like somebody's getting a phone call over there.
No, I was supposed to call my sponsee.
Oh, no.
It's alright. I don't even know what fucking time it is. He's in, Thailand. So.
Oh. Do you need to do that?
What is Thailand?
Yeah, it's fine. It's
Okay.
It's fine.
It's fine. Hopefully the guy hasn't relapsed. Anyways, yeah. In a red line train, rolled out of the station because, the braking system was, completely, diminished. They are tweeting out, the wrong stations and shit. It's just a total chaos. Total. Did you see that? They fucking, what do they called fucking Heinz. They called Heinz Auditorium, a week ago. And it's what do you tell? It hasn't been called that since the 90s. What the fuck is that?
For perspective, the Orange Line train that caught on fire, the specific car, has been in service with the MBTA since 1980.
Oh, wow. Yeah, fuck. All of these
Jimmy
things
Carter was
were...
still president when that car was started service.
Yes, he was. All of the the fucking infrastructure of the MBTA was only built to last 25 years, and it was done. The last time they did it was in the 80s, and it's now it's been 40 years. So that's just why this is happening.
When they replaced part of the tracks on the Orange Line in the fall of 2019, and I had to deal with all the shuttles, the T was, for some reason, continuously pointed out that the last time that they had replaced those tracks was in the summer of 1987. It's you're not making me feel better by pointing this out. Could you, instead of advertising this, could you, fix it?
Yeah. And of course, Michelle was Her approach is she wants to shut down the whole T and fix it all at once, and that's not going to work either. Just like the logistics of that one. I don't know how to get around that.
Like, everybody just take, a sick day for, 6 months?
No.
It would take so much longer than 6 months, dude.
I mean...
So I guess the next thing, again...
Wait, no, Jesse, what did... Stop. Jesse, what did you have to say? What were you about to say? If you had anything to say.
No.
All right.
I had 10 bad ideas.
My idea is that they fix the tracks a line at a time, which I know that'll take forever. But how do you fix it without shutting down the city?
I agree with Scott's idea of one at a time.
I feel like the MBTA is undervalued as contributing to the Boston economy. Most people where I live take it.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. You are. No, there was that period a couple years ago where they extended the lines to 3 a.m, and all of the local restaurants in the North End and throughout, not just necessarily the North End, but all of these restaurants that were close to the T saw increased revenue, saw increased patronage. And you're right, the T has been, how important and how vital the T is to the economy of the city, to the city running, and to people just getting around so there can be a city, is entirely underappreciated. And it's because
I would say it goes beyond that.
Well, it's because people like Charlie Baker can wag a finger and be like, well,
no, I think it goes beyond supporting the city's economy. It also supports the whole region because you have the commuter rail.
Okay, yes.
When they extended hours of the commuter rail, there was less traffic on the highways.
Yeah, but most people are commuting into Boston. Most people don't leave Boston on the commuter rail. Yeah,
unless you're someone like me who dates people from way out of town. Anyways, no, but it's because Charlie Baker has the ability, or the governor in general, in the governor's office has the ability to wag their finger and be like, "Are you sure the people out in Western Mass really want to fucking fund the MBTA?" And then that becomes the general attitude in the state. It's just well, it's only for Boston, so why do I give a fuck? And then
which is ironic because I lived in Western Mass for 3 years. And everything was around we want a Boston-Springfield connection on the T, so we actually can take the T into Boston. And yet Charlie Baker, people in Boston are does Western Mass really want this? Yes, they do. So shut up and do it.
Yeah, it's it's a manufacturing consent sort of deal.
Yeah, it's just irritating and also ironic because I've seen both ends of it.
Let's move on to something else that's irritating, folks.
Herpes.
Yeah. It is. It can be.
Just kidding.
I was actually thinking we'd go in a positive direction because the rest of the minisode is going to be very depressing.
I know what I'm recommending then for my slam recommendation.
Give us some good news.
Last month in France is actually very good news. I knew about it at the time, I guess, because it happened around the same time as Roe, that it kind of got lost in the shuffle of everything else, because it literally happened either the week before or the week after.
Yeah, it's like trying to find a needle in a pile of fetuses.
So on June 19th, France held its second round of the legislative election for the National Assembly, which is their equivalent to Congress. And Macron was hoping to continue his party's success in 2017 and hold on to his absolute majority. His party ran on the agenda of raising the retirement age, cutting taxes, and also making cuts to the social welfare state.
Yay!
Yeah, he ran on tax cuts, welfare reform, and raising the retirement age. Gee, it's a surprise he didn't lose by worse.
What percentage did he lose?
His party lost 101 seats.
Wow. Fuck. What's his party? Aren't they just the milquetoast Democrats of France? What the fuck?
Yeah, his party lost about a third of their seats. They went from
what's
having
the party called?
The party is called Le République En Marche, but the electoral alliance that they belong to is called Ensemble.
Oh god.
They went into this election holding 346 of the National Assembly's 577 seats. They lost 101 seats, so that's about a third.
Of course, the French make it super fucking weird. It's it's a group inside this group. They're called blah, blah, blah.
No, it's because there's a bunch of parties.
I'm gonna run in a local election in the Boston Symphony Orchestra party, I think.
But no, it's an electoral alliance is like a bunch of parties grouping together and like into a coalition.
Yeah, I
So
know,
it's
Joe.
Well, I was explaining on the off chance a listener might not.
Oh, I'm sorry, listener, if you didn't know. The one.
So the French National Assembly, you need to
Is
have.
he still president, though?
Yes.
He's president,
All right,
but it's like he lost control of Congress. Think of it that way. It's like he lost control of Congress in the midterm. So you need 289 seats in the French National Assembly to have like a majority, like outright majority control. And because his electoral coalition only got 245 seats, he can no longer like govern outright without getting minority support. And also the other big story of the legislative election is the French left doubled their number of seats in the French parliament. In fact, actually, the French left is now the official leader of the opposition to the Macron government.
Yeah, no, that effectively what it sounds like is that the objective was to, if you couldn't, like, if there was no option of, like, unseating Macron, then you would make his ability to pass his policies incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so this was a success. Like, that's...
This was a major success.
Yes.
That's cool. I like that story.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about it.
And it's like the left electoral alliance is called, it's an acronym, NEWPS, which stands for the New Ecological and Social People's Union Party. It is led...
Nukes? Like you say it nukes or noose? How do you say it?
Neither.
Noops. Oh, okay. All right.
The coalition is led by the leader of the La France Insoumise Party, Jean-Luc Mélenchon, who is basically like the leader of the French left. NEWPS is a electoral coalition that contains La France Insoumise, the Green Party, the Communist Party, the French Socialist Party.
Le French is synonymous.
So yeah, it's funny because we're talking about in the same episode in the American right. You have like the right's kind of factionalizing, whereas in France it's the other way around, where the left has finally stopped being so heavily factionized, and as a result, it's actually succeeding.
Yeah, what's up with that? America.
I think it's a good thing in any case when the status quo is...
It's disrupted.
It's not like more people are going to vote if there's a third party in the United States. It's just that the existing voters are going to be split between more parties.
Yes.
And you won't be able to rule...
Another reason I think the French election is a huge success is that, like Jesse was talking about, like the factionalization of the right is also partly what happened. Because, like, so the left became more cohesive and less factionalized, and the right significantly factionalized, like the center-right Les Republicans. They lost like 60 seats, which is about half of their seats. Most of their seats were poached by Marine Le Pen's like far-right.
The fascist right in France got a little bit more powerful.
Yeah, they picked up like 80 seats, mostly picking off Macron's members and also picking off seats from the center-right. So they basically picked off like the center and the center-right seats for the most part.
Sure, this is what you said. You say the right is becoming more divided. What I heard is the fascists are getting more power.
That's also true.
So,
I mean, yeah, it's bad, but I was a little too tired to explain this on the call, but I would much prefer the neoliberal hegemony fracture into distinct camps because Big Tent capitalism can only make room for fascists, not for communists. And unless tethered to a well-defined working-class party line, politicians are incentivized to pursue policies that benefit the ruling class. A similar argument could be made about one-party socialist states, that being politicians are going to be incentivized to entrench themselves in the bureaucracy, but that's a far cry from the political landscape in France and in the United States.
Now it's basically going to be a food fight.
Yeah, because there's going to be like the strongest element of French politics are going to be spearheaded by both ends of the spectrum. If you have like the predominating centrist politics, then nothing fucking changes. It just gets a teeny bit worse.
And the reason why I say that, yes, sure, the fascist right is gaining power, but like the reason I say it's a good thing is this is the first time, this is like one of the first times in the history of the fascist republic, which is basically like post World War II, that the party controlling the presidency in France doesn't also have like outright majority in the National Assembly to basically just be able to rubber stamp whatever the fuck they want to do.
It's the first time since when? For how long has it been?
Since like post World War II, that like the center hasn't been able to just rubber stamp whatever it wants to do. For decades now, like the party that controls the presidency usually also has like a huge majority in the National Assembly.
Old Macron, you fucked that up.
Yeah, apparently campaigning on wanting to privatize the welfare state, raise the retirement age, cut corporate taxes after he already got rid of the wealth tax on the wealthy, and also shitting on workers and organized labor. Apparently, that didn't go well for him.
Go retire to fuck some old teachers, you lousy bum.
I know, he's only 44, and he's this much of an asshole.
Well, I mean, like, assholeness has nothing to do with age, but yeah, he looks a lot older.
Yeah, I know. It's like we're gonna have to put up with this asshole on the world stage being an asshole for that much longer.
Maybe not.
Here's to hoping.
Yeah. Dealer's choice, Joe.
Sorry that I'm just kind of bouncing around. I guess because we were talking about already talking about the factionalization. I guess we can talk about the Andrew Yang thing.
Yeah.
Andrew Yang, baby.
Meth.
The news was broke literally like an hour ago that Andrew Yang and a bunch of Republicans are starting their own party.
Oh, hell yeah.
Called the Forward Party.
It's like the political version of a T-pose.
What do you mean a T-pose? What is that?
It's like the generic character model for like a video game.
Oh, okay.
See, I don't play games. I don't either.
Oh. I'm gonna go sit in the embarrassed corner a little bit. Sorry, guys. Joe, talk about Andrew Yang, though.
The Reuters article states that will be initially co-chaired by Andrew Yang and a former governor of New Jersey, and it says dozens of former Republican and Democratic officials, but literally Andrew Yang is the only named person in this article who is not already a Republican.
Yeah, to be specific, they name Christine Todd Whitman of New Jersey. They name administration officials from the Reagan, Bush Sr., Bush Jr., and Donald Trump administrations.
Going as far back as Reagan, baby.
They named David Jolly, fucking
who
former
is a
Republican
congressman from Florida, well, ex-congressman from Florida, who lost his primary in 2016.
Who?
David Jolly.
David
Jolly?
Jolly?
2016 or 2018 he lost his primary. He's
you
from
gotta
Florida.
have a jolly man in your. You gotta have a jolly man in your party. So
it basically sounds like they're just going with neocons: Reagan, George H.W. Bush, George W. Bush, Trump.
Yeah, it's the imperialist tech bro party.
Yeah, basically.
Chris Cuomo is already a supporter.
The party, which is centrist, has no specific policies yet. It will say at its Thursday launch, quote, "How will we solve the big issues facing America? Not left, not right, forward."
It's so bad, dude. Like
Jesus Christ.
The only actual policy
that is like a Simpsons episode.
They don't go into detail about any of the things that they plan to accomplish.
Two pillars of the new party's platform are to, quote, "reinvigorate a fair, flourishing economy and to give Americans more choice in elections, more confidence in a government that works, and more say in our future." So wait, are you guys doing communism or like tech fascism? I can't really tell.
I'm gonna go with the second one.
There's they do have a couple of specific policy prescriptions, but they basically only solve the problem of having a third party.
I also think it's funny that I guess on Twitter, Democrats are like freaking out that this is going to somehow cost them the midterms because somehow these centrists will like siphon votes away from them and not the Republicans.
I think this is good. There is no left-wing politics in America, so watching the right factionalize is, I think the
Democrats
funny.
are just freaking out about this, are pretending to freak out about us is like a justification for when they shit the bed in the fall.
I don't think they're pretending, but yeah, they're freaking out about this.
Maybe you should change your fucking politics if you're afraid that this is going to siphon votes away from people, because this isn't...
Because when Democrats lose, it can't be their fault.
If the Democratic Party is going to lose out because of this fucking bare bones platform, then maybe they should change their own fucking platform.
Though, unfortunately, if they do, they'll probably swing to the right.
There's no more room, dude. It's like they love Econ 101 bullshit. They should know that the market is already saturated, okay?
That's why I think the Democrats are pointless. So, the Ford Party plans to get party registration and ballot access in 30 states by the end of next year. And they want to get on every state by the 2024 cycle.
Tell me what this sounds like to you. Individual choice.
Oh, no.
Flourishing economy, open society, and more choices. What does that sound like to you?
It sounds like nothing.
No, it sounds like the charter school movement.
It just sounds like capitalism to me. This is just
Yeah.
the only actual ideology that is uniting this party is capitalism.
Yeah.
Makes sense, yeah.
So we're going to do capitalism in a country that already has capitalism.
Yes.
You gotta respect it.
But tonight I say we must move forward, not backward, upward, not forward, and always twirling, twirling, twirling towards freedom.
Thank you. That was
Like-
Andrew Yang,
I
everybody.
spent most of the
Like,
night trying to
Unironically, yes, that's what this fucking party is.
All right. We recovered things a little bit there, boys. Anyways, are we done making fun of Andrew Yang and his uneven math hat?
Yes.
Oh my god.
By the way,
I mean,
listener, you can
he
still
wanted to-
purchase the math hat.
He wanted to replace Social Security with the UBI, folks. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Fuck him.
Yeah.
Sorry. You can still get his hat, it's true.
I'm just not sure why you'd want to.
Because it's fucking cool.
Yeah. Joe, what's your next story?
So,
We're tired and awkward tonight, folks. Sorry.
yeah.
I have to say, I've complained about this a lot, but I need to complain about it more. Just for a minute. Every other night, the fucking monopoly, the private company
Go off.
that controls our electrical grid has decided to shut down the power in my neighborhood sometime after midnight, some unspecific time after midnight to some unspecific time several hours after that, which means every other night I have to wait for the fucking power to come back on, which is usually after the sun comes up, to be able to use my CPAP machine, which allows me to breathe so that I can sleep. So I am just at the mercy of this fucking company that I didn't elect anybody to this genius board of directors here that literally have the capacity to decide when I get to sleep. And that's why I'm fucking tired.
Fucking bullshit, yeah. And the house, they just finished like rebuilding the house next to me on one side, and now they're gonna start rebuilding the house on the other side. So,
Ugh, that sucks.
yeah,
I'm
dog.
tired because my workplace refused to let me go home. Not this past Sunday, but the week before, because they couldn't find someone to work the overnight shift, so they forced me to work an extra 4 hours.
So they got a 14-year-old to do it, and there's
Yeah,
our
basically.
segue. There's our segue.
Yes.
Do it.
Child labor.
It's coming back in fashion. It's back in fashion, baby. Child labor.
So, honestly,
Child
I was
labor is
reading about
back and
this,
it's better than ever.
Jesus Christ.
and it was making me think. It was actually making me think of an episode of Eat the Rich that they did last
Eat
August.
the rich.
This is a reason why I don't quite understand why that show's ending, because yes, they did Billionaires, but they also did multinational corporations like Cargill, which basically half of all chocolate that's produced comes from like child labor at some point in the supply chain. And
Comes from the Ivory Coast. There's
Yeah.
really not a lot of places you can actually grow cocoa.
but the reason that I saw the similarities is that Cargill,
It's interesting.
they would always claim that, we're not the ones who are directly doing it. It's one of our distributors who are doing it. And that's what Hyundai is doing in Alabama.
Wait, so if It's one of their distributors, so it's.
Well, actually,
it's
in this
them.
case, it's a subsidiary of Hyundai.
Yeah, no, but like still, that makes it them.
Yeah,
That's
I know,
the point
but-
I'm trying to make. That's funny.
So, at a metal stamping plant in Alabama, operated by Smart Alabama LLC, which is a majority-owned facility by Hyundai, has been employing child laborers as young as 12, and a lot of these children are the children of undocumented migrants who are not in school, even though Alabama requires under law that everyone under the age of 17 be enrolled at school and be going to school. But these migrant children are instead working at a metal stamping factory, which is in violation of state and federal labor laws.
Metal stamping?
Yes, that makes supplies that are used on the assembly line floor to manufacture cars,
They stamp the metal down.
which is actually
Whew.
a rather dangerous thing. Like, you can...
Yeah.
You can, like, lose an arm to that.
Yeah. You ever seen The Machinist? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a good fucking movie.
Fucking Michael Ironside loses his arm in that, I think. I think it's Ironside. It doesn't matter. Anyways.
So, a Reuters review of the records that they have obtained shows that Smart has been assessed with at least $48,515 in OSHA penalties since 2013, and was most recently fined earlier this year. OSHA inspections at Smart have documented violations, including crush and amputation hazards at the plant. The plant, whose website says it has the capacity to supply parts for up to 400,000 cars a year, has had difficulty retaining labor to keep up with Hyundai's demand.
Crush and amputation?
And also, yes, also
That
earlier
was
this
the phrase.
year,
Okay.
yes, earlier this year,
Oh my.
attorneys filed a class action lawsuit against Smart and several staffing firms who help supply workers with U.S. visas. The lawsuit filed in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Georgia on behalf of a group of about 40 Mexican workers alleges some employees hired as engineers were ordered to work menial jobs instead.
So how young are these kids?
Young as 12.
Oh my fucking god. Are these kids getting crushed and amputated?
They're at risk of being crushed and amputated based on the kind of work they're being forced to do.
What a nightmare.
This is also in violation of state law.
What a nightmare.
Because in Alabama, all kids under the age of 17 have to be enrolled in school. But these kids are not in school. They are potentially getting crushed and amputated at a metal stamping factory.
These are not children, folks. They are potential crush and amputation victims.
Giving a visceral idea to the term human capital.
Yeah,
I'm reading reviews right now on the chamberofcommerce.com little business directory, and there's one, like, okay, so we got like July 31st, 2021. Someone rated 4 stars and just said good.
What?
Then we got October 13th, 2021, 2 stars. It's a work environment for me, just making a delivery. Can't speak to the operations of the company. Then we got July 24th, 2022. Smart Alabama LLC has multiple children as young as 12 working for them. These children are not in school and are immigrants. This company exploits the young and vulnerable. It's disgusting. 1 star.
1 star. God damn it.
It's disgusting and horrible, but it still gets a star.
Those Americans. Anyways, yeah. You've seen, like, you know, Americans leave, like, ironic comments on, or, like, reviews on, like the Salt Lakes in, like, the middle of the
I'm going to call him.
world.
I'm going to call
Where,
him
like,
right now.
It's like, oh, I threw my dog into the lake and then it turned into stone. What is that lake again? Lake Natron or something?
Like Mead?
No,
Lake
the
Mead, yeah.
lake. No,
No, like Mead's where they're finding human remains.
no, I'm not. No. I'm talking about a salt lake that, like, has a reputation of, like, animals turn to stone if they go in it, but it's just a myth. It's not true. Yeah, Lake Natron.
You can press pound for the company directory.
The alkaline lake in
Using the
Tanzania.
dial pad, please enter the extension you wish to call. To use the directory, press number sign. To leave a message, press star. To reach an operator, press #. Please enter the mailbox number or press
Oh.
number sign to use the directory. Using the dial pad button, please spell the last name of the person. For the letter Q, press 7. For Z, press 9. To exit
Jesus.
from the company directory, press star. Please enter the mailbox number or press number sign to use the directory.
Think you're
Well,
fucked.
we'll try again another day.
It's probably that like convoluted so that like they don't get calls. They're just like, stop, leave them kids alone. Hey, what company is it?
Smart Alabama LLC.
Oh,
They are a majority-owned subsidiary of Hyundai.
Damn it. Because I don't know, for some reason, hey Buick, leave those kids alone. Just like that popped in my head, and that would have sounded better. But hey Hyundai, leave them kids alone. No. No Pink Floyd fans. That's fine. Okay, fine. Gonna go back to the embarrassment corner again. I guess talk about the fucking Fed, Joe. Jesus.
Talk about Fed.
Talk about that Fed so we can go home. Or I guess I am home so I can go to bed. I'm not going to go to bed for a while.
Another
In the
shitty thing that
afterlife.
happened today. The Fed raised interest rates another 0.75% again, which is going to make credit card debt more expensive to take out. It's going to be more expensive. The financing of like trying to borrow money to buy a house, buy a car, credit card debt. All of that's going to become more expensive.
Well,
Yeah, debt
spending limit.
is going to be even more expensive.
And they're doing this to try to reduce demand, even though this is really a supply issue. It's a combination of supply chain crisis and corporate price gouging in general, capitalistic greed. But yeah, making life more difficult for everyone else is apparently the solution. Because God forbid, companies have bad profit margins or bad earnings reports for this quarter.
I need to ask like a big dumb question.
Go ahead.
Do we like what is actually happening? Like what is actually causing the supply chain shortage crisis? Is it the people who died from COVID? Is it that like we're not making as many resources? Like what's going on? Like what is actually
No, it's
going on?
actually peak neoliberalism of what is known as like just in time. This is actually because supply chains have in pursuit of profits have cut out like over the past 20 years have cut out basically all of the redundancies and reserve supply of products.
Is this like the fucking like from like farm to shelf type logic shit?
Yeah.
Is it like that type of, okay, which is yeah. Dude, there were stories about this that like when Whole Foods went to that model, like the workers were like so overworked and things went bad like almost immediately.
It's a combination of
like those redundancies were there for a reason, for fuck's sake. Like okay. Now I understand what happened. So it's bad policy making, okay, because of greed and because yeah, I totally understand this now. Okay.
Also, these companies just haven't had. They got rid of the reserve supplies because like there's no profits to be made there.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to like cut down overhead to achieve maximum profit in the short term, even if there's like, in a pinch, in past decades, in a pinch, like companies will dip into the supply and use those to send out those reserve products, like sitting in reserves in case there was like something got caught. Now got caught in like the supply chain system, but everyone switched to like just in time shipping and that kind of shit. So like there is no reserve. So now everyone's kind of fucked.
Huh.
This is a supply problem, and they're treating it like it's a demand problem, which is just going to make things worse. This is the fourth time they've raised interest rates this year.
This year?
Yeah.
Motherfucker.
Each time they raise rates, that definitely increases the likelihood that this will tip the economy into a full-blown recession, because reducing demand for things like homes, cars, credit card loans, because this affects loans for basically every kind of financial transaction.
Yeah, so greater barriers to entry for new businesses, for education.
And the bigger threat that most people don't see as to why raising interest rates would be a bad thing is, remember how I talked about zombie corporations a while ago?
Yes.
I think the thing that's most likely to cause a recession at this point with these increased interest rate hikes is zombie corporations.
They're gonna come to life.
Their ability to survive does not depend on profits. It depends on their ability to secure financing for more loans so that they can keep paying down the interest on the loans they already have but can't afford to pay down. So a lot of these companies are not going to be able to survive if the cost of borrowing more money goes up.
It
So
depends.
a lot of companies.
It depends. It depends on if they get bailouts. I am cynical enough to be willing to bet that most of them survive because they get bailouts. That's what happened in 2008.
Yes. Well, I said a lot of companies. I didn't say all of them. A lot. I do agree with you that the decent-sized chunk of them will be bailed out, but there's also probably going to be a number of them that don't make it.
Or they'll just merge.
They'll come to life and eat our faces.
Dying companies are going to be like prime real estate for, you know,
you stab it with a knife.
if there's a duopoly in an industry, it's just going to become a monopoly.
Yeah, no, yeah.
One big company that's still so hopelessly in debt that neither of them actually are solvent.
It'll be a nuanced yet devastating.
No, Joe, it's called being too big to fail.
Yeah, it'll be a nuanced.
Too big to fail.
Again,
Also,
it'll be,
what's really funny, speaking of too big to fail, I don't know if this was reported, but JP Diamond is the CEO of JP Morgan. Is pissed that we have financial regulations at all because JP Morgan failed its stress test that is mandated for large financial institutions on an annual basis post 2008 to ensure that the major finance institutions won't collapse in another break the fire alarm kind of situation, break the glass on the fire alarm.
The guy was literally saying this is unfair, but he fucking dressed it up to the point where it sounded like it was a critique of the intellectual qualifications of the legislators.
What's even more funny though is that he's complaining about how his bank failed, even though for the past 7 or 8 years the stress tests have actually become easier and easier to pass, as a lot of the actual teeth in those regulations have been stripped out by industry executives who are going through the revolving door as lobbyists. So you failed the test where the answers are pretty much already given to you beforehand.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
You got to be doing pretty badly to fail a test where the teacher literally puts the answers on the whiteboard and then leaves the room.
They love their money over there at JP Morgan. Chase.
Part of why they've done so badly is because JP Morgan, he went big, really went big on crypto and the Metaverse, and as a result, JP Morgan has lost tens of billions of dollars.
See, how do you know these things? This is what I want to know. These are the questions that I have about big banks. What do they fucking invest in? Because it's kind of an open secret, but it's I want to see the data, you know?
They invest in blood sports and adrenochrome, child pornography. I don't know. They do invest in war to a degree, though. Weapons, drug manufacturing, cartels, such as those. No, nothing? Okay.
Yeah, they invest in all that kind of shit, but those kind of bets are hedged or hidden behind a shell company.
Yeah, I'm just pondering the idea of top level JP Morgan execs being yeah, the metaverse is going to be the fucking future. Yeah,
they put out that video today of Zuck and Neil deGrasse Tyson in the metaverse, looking at the recent pictures from the Hubble. It just made the whole fucking thing seem so lame. It's space is supposed to be cool. God, that picture is cool and kind of inspiring. And then you see these fucking goddamn Playmobil fucking versions of Zuckerberg and goddamn Neil deGrasse Tyson talking about it, and it's just what the fuck? What is this?
But yeah,
I don't understand how these people with unlimited money
think of the corniest shit.
They can't even hire somebody else to be creative for them.
Yeah, exactly. They just think of the corniest shit. Fucking Elon Musk with his stupid tunnel that's one car at a time.
Yeah, Elon Musk is proof
brains,
that
dude.
Smart people, rich people are not terribly smart.
And then if you want to go to Walmart, you gotta do it in the video game, and then a car comes and drops up your fucking groceries anyway. So why didn't you just fucking go yourself? Lazy pieces of shit. God damn it. You know? What the fuck? Anyways.
I love this.
Yeah. Let's wrap up this fucking episode in a bow. My name is Scott. Is that okay, folks?
Yeah, I want to say positive. One positive thing is that the mental health working group, we played Drawception in person. It was fun as fuck.
Also, the who was arrested exactly? Was it actually Rod and Lauren?
No, it was the Nazi.
No, but weren't a couple anti-fascists also arrested? Anyways, there was the whole thing, and they were dropped. The charges were dropped against the anti-fascists. So, yeah.
Oh,
that's also positive.
wait. Yes, you're
Yes.
right. Yes, I think they were detained and then let go. I don't think they actually got charged.
Well, hell yeah.
I can
Hell
ask.
yeah, and that fucking what's his name, like Chris Smith or some shit? He has like some generic ass name. What is this? He got arrested. Local fascist got arrested. Tim Ryan, what's his name? I really can't remember.
The congressman from Ohio?
No, I don't know. I'm just, anyways.
Chris Hood, what's going on? Come on, Chris, tell me what happened. What'd you do?
Do me a favor, on the sidewalk.
All right, Nazi cucks.
He just has to get booked, fingerprinted.
Oh, I'm the one who does the outro. My name is Scott, Sweaty Wife. I actually got some inspiration to maybe make some music again last night, Jesse. I was gonna message you, but I didn't want to, like, anyways.
Thanks, I guess.
Sorry we're all annoyed today, folks.
I'm just too tired to be...
We're over it. We're all over it.
Too tired
We're
to
all over
exist.
it.
We're just doing this for you guys, because we love you.
We love you. I'm Sweaty Wife. You follow me.
We hate ourselves,
if you
but
do.
we love you.
Joe, where are you? JLB96.
You're
96.
close. You got most of the letters right. I am Joe. Existing is tiring. Very exhausting. You can find me on Twitter at JLFB96 and on Instagram at JLFB1996.
Hold on 1 second. Lauren just verified Rod did get arrested.
Go back and listen to our interview with those fine folks. It was a fun time. And he's Jesse.
And I'm Jesse.
Jesse.
You can
I
find
remember Jesse. I remember Joe. Sorry.
my music on soundcloud.com/contingentsboston, CONTINGENCE Boston. Remember to hit up comrade-rosie.org. Select that Getting Involved tab. Choose one or more mutual aid groups to donate your time, labor, and or money to, because people really need your help right now. And I do have a slam recommendation this evening. And that slam recommendation is an album entitled Misery. The band is Disentomb. Disentomb. They're from fucking Australia. Slams down under. And I guess we're all just too tired to...
I am vaguely familiar with Disentombed. I didn't know I was muted. That's literally what I was just saying. Sorry. We're all too tired.
Yeah,
You got your Aussie slams. You get a little Joey. Joey's gonna like the Aussie slams. I can't do an accent at all.
Disentomb is incredibly talented. Their music is like beyond
Little
the
kangaroos.
normal.
They call them Joeys. So cute.
Anyway, yeah, I stand Disentomb.
Hell yeah.
Yep.
Disentomb.
No.
Flushing this episode down the toilet. Yeah, go to comrade-rosie.org, get involved, hit that tab, do those things. As just said, go to patreon.com/ethnic-incredulity. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. I should upload the last episode on YouTube. I was meaning to do that earlier, and I didn't get around to it. My apologies, folks. Anyways, and then, what we say every week, Jesse will hopefully edit in the clip of all of us saying, but tank dough.
Yeah, but it was just us. It was just me, you, and Joe saying it, so we can just say it
Wasn't
again.
Drew there?
He
Yeah.
didn't say it, though.
Oh.
He was silent.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Drew, what the fuck? Anyways. But tank dough.
But tank do.
At least I said it. Joe
But
said it. Joe-
Tango. Sorry, my brain is fired.
Wonderful, folks. Anyways. What the fuck? That's the Epoch. Oh my god. I'll put a couple farts on it, and then
Do a fart.
Yeah.
Do a fart.
There. Notification 1.
Hello, who's this? Mr. Fart. Nice to smell you.
Farting with the crickets. Oh, it just keeps going. It's a loop. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. That's it.
This episode is going to be a weak one. Weak sauce.
Okay.
I'm an asshole. Sorry.
All right. Love you.
Love you guys.
Good night, comrades.
All right. Yeah.
Bye.